Good morning, traders. It's E for E-Mini Wizard and MarketWizards.com. Just with a quick update. We've had quite a run in the last few days, so what do we do now? It's always the question. Got a 5-minute chart here. As expected, we've got a bit of a choppy session. We're building off of yesterday's thrust. One of the things I suggested earlier was make sure we pay attention to yesterday's high. If we're above it, we're obviously still in new territory, trying to push upwards to that 12.5 target. Should be our next resistance target. And by that I mean that's a legitimate target that the longs are trying to achieve, and obviously the shorts are going to try to defend. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Shorts have had a terrible time of it lately trying to defend their turf. I'm looking at this platform right here as support. And I had told Club 200 this should be our support zone. And obviously today we got some traders that are going to look to take some profits before the day's over. So I would expect a little bit of a choppy session. And anybody that's had a good couple of days should want to capture some profits. Here's a 30-minute chart in Globex variety. We can see with this chart that we've had quite a lift off, quite a push. Consolidation obviously overnight, a little bit more press to the upside. And again, looking at the support right here under this bar. Once we break that bar, then we open the door to the downside, not until. So I had suggested that 98 to 02 should be our next support zone right now. Shorts have to undo that if they're going to escape getting squeezed further. Doesn't mean we have to go up and rock and roll today, but certainly nothing good will happen to the downside for the shorts until they undermine that 02 to 98 range. And here's our 15-minute Globex. Gives us a little bit tighter perspective. You can see with a little more clarity these potential support areas and actually the trend that was initiated back here. And then once we get this type of a platform, we don't have to rock and roll, but we did. Normally, as long as we're above the blue line, market is positive and respecting that chart. If we fall below it, then you may want to go to a little bit tighter chart. It might be a 20-minute chart, whatever, but I usually use a 30 and the 15. And here's a 5 Globex. We can see we fell under the blue line, but still respecting the long-term average. So with this thrust overnight, first thing in the morning, we have morning after trend day continuation still as a result of yesterday's thrust. It takes time to undo a major thrust like yesterday. You don't want to be the first one to try to short. And by clicking on a 4-minute chart, I can see that this conforms fairly well right now to a 4-minute chart. So the chart in play technically for me would be a 4-minute chart based on what I'm seeing here. And I would expect that to revert to the mean as time goes on. It is a very fast chart because it's a Globex variety, but it still allows me to see the potential rotations. And here's another type of analysis that I use. I look at a number of different charts. Help, I think, give me an edge in our traders that use this system because we can see it without the spaghetti, but we can also see the different levels that theoretically might come into play as support or resistance. And this would be our deeper support right now. And then obviously you've got to break this 02 level first and get past the 23 and get back into here. Here is the last significant launch. So until that breaks, shorts are obviously on the hook for a squeeze. But these are more aggressive levels here. Here's a 10-minute chart. And again, a different time frame, different analysis, different look. For me, the most important thing in this chart is understanding where potential support will come first. Because until we break that first level of support, we're not going any further to the downside. So anybody wants to short, you're looking for resistance targets like that 12.5 that we've called. Meaning when we get to 11.5, you've got about a point of reward left versus coming back in the other way. So risk reward really starts to change within a point or so of these targets. And that's the problem with today's trade, of course, is we had such a good sized trade yesterday that we probably have stolen some of today's range. And here's a 3-minute chart. If you want to drill it down, you can use a 1 or a 2 or 3, whatever you want, and still apply the same type of analysis fractally, meaning in any different time frame that you want. So this helps to give me a little bit tighter look. And as a day trader, a lot of people want to use a 1 to 3 minute chart, but you really need to go back and look at the bigger ones first to give this perspective. Once again, a reminder, if you go to the Mart, go to the bottom of the page, you'll find the Unfix Your Income, what I call the Club 200. On sale right now. You'll get at least 2 weeks of new material, plus you'll get to review my last 3 weeks or so of analysis with charts, video, text, explanations. No better value out there right now that I offer than this program. If you take a look at that, it will give you insights into the way we trade and the way we look at things, the way we analyze our market moves. And I guarantee you that you will not be disappointed. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. This is E for E-Mini Wizard and MarketWizards.com signing off. Be well.